Welcome to Make It Submerged, an Australian Survivor podcast. I'm Kirsty.
I'm Sophie.
And I'm Will.
Well, it's been another huge week on Australian Survivor. I think it's safe to say that we're all in mourning here at the Make It to Merge pod. We have, of course, lost our favourite chaos merchant, Max. However, lots and lots of chaos to talk through before we get to that. So let's dive in with episode 1 of week 3. We start with Zara coming back from the chaotic tribal that was the Max Scroll saga. She's kind of saying that she cooked the vote. She's making it up. It's all a bit chaotic. People actually think that Max has voted for Ali, but he actually voted for Miles.
Yeah, and then he was going into, he voted for Miles and his vote was the one with the, like, whatever on it. Like, he was, like, pointing out which, like his handwriting.
Oh, yeah, that he spelled it wrong or something, wasn't it?
I think, like, the reason Zara did say that she wrote Ali's name was because it was a bit of a witch hunt. Logan is absolutely fuming and is basically just demanding to know who wrote Ali's name. So then Zara just decides to pretend she's cooked it rather than admit that she intentionally did it.
Yeah, I don't know how believable that was. We never really kind of went back to it after that, did we? But it didn't feel that believable. But then again, there was a lot of chaos in the air, so anything could have landed. I think Logan's kind of quite rightly frustrated at this point because she's been left out of the Max vote. She didn't know what was going on at that tribal. I don't think anyone did really, but here we are. None of them really know what's happened.
Oh my God, I just remembered Zara keeps telling people she's got dementia. She keeps going around saying, I've got dementia, that's why.
I'm surprised they kept that in.
I'm surprised they kept that in. Also, side note here, did you notice the name of this episode?
I don't know if I did.
It was called A Date with JLP.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was a lovely moment, actually. Imagine a date with JLP at Tribal Council.
I'm glad you added it, Tribal Council.
Tribal Council. Depreciates the value of it.
So, I mean, it's not long after, we kind of never really get to the bottom of what happened with that vote because we're off to the reward challenge and it's a big old reward. It's a tribe swap.
I was about to cut in and be like, it was for sandwiches.
Yeah.
Which it was, right? They did the tribe swap and then they did the...
Sandwiches with a side of tribe swap.
Yeah, sandwiches with a side of chaos.
Yeah.
The chaos filling.
Chaos, disorder, deception. We loved it. Now, I've got a question for you, actually.
Oh.
We see the tribe swap happen. We see them coming up to the, almost like a cake stand of buffs. Isn't it?
I mean, yeah.
Choosing their buffs. They're going brains or brawn. Do you think that that is fabricated in any way? Because I saw something online that was like, imagine if you had a tribe of girls and a tribe of boys, but that has never happened. So my question is, do you think there's any kind of fiddling from the producers?
No.
No.
It's funny because I'd written down a very similar question.
Had you?
Yeah, it's funny that they do leave it to be totally random, you think, because we see them going up and picking the buffs. It's not like JLP hands someone. And then I've also written, like, say, like it was the Brains tribe had remains pretty much the same except one person. Would they refilm that or would it just be like, too bad? You've got the same tribes again.
I think they just go look at the draw. Because, I mean, the chances of them ending up with basically the same tribes is so small.
Be very unlikely. But
I think it would just be a step too far for them to manipulate it because whatever happens, it's going to cause drama. It doesn't really matter how things end up as long as there's a bit of a mix-up. One way or another, there's going to be drama, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say this tribe swap, there's some stuff, that they would have picked. Like, for example, you've got Max and Miles on the same tribe again. I actually wrote my notes, Max and Miles are on Brawn.
Arch enemies.
Arch enemy, his nemesis. The jungle rat and the jungle cat.
Was there any other kind of like standout matchups that you picked out from the tribe swap?
I made a note of Noonan's face when she found out she was on Brawn. She was not pleased and she did not have a poker face.
And she was still with Ursula. See, we've got Noonan and Ursula on one side and we've got Max and Miles on the other. Well, I'd say like Ursula and Noonan's disdain for each other feels a bit more real.
Yeah.
Whereas the Miles and Max feels a bit more Tom and Jerry-esque.
Yeah.
Comedy, panto,
Yeah,
the villain stuff. Yeah. And then Laura's fuming that she's on the same tribe as Miles again. Well, she's saying it's not great. She's on the same tribe as Miles, who can't keep his mouth shut and is always on the bottom.
Yeah, Miles didn't really get a great deal in that tribe swap, actually, did he? Because he was with Zara, who he was kind of aligned with, but she very quickly pulls away from that. So he doesn't really have any of his graduate alliance over there. So yeah, he probably got the worst deal of it, I'd say. Laura's not great either.
Yeah, and he was with, his arch nemesis.
Someone's actively trying to kill him, basically.
It's been so interesting, I think, though, when like in the past, it would have quite a lot of it been like, you kind of stick to your original tribe, even if you don't like each other. But so many people just can't get past their hatred for their former tribe mates to like the detriment of their own game.
I have loved to see it. I really have. I think it's nice as well that like they are actively just kind of going into it thinking we're not going to stay with our tribal alliances. Yes. Most of them anyway, like they're very open to shifting and working with other people, which I think is the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a lot more sneaking in previous seasons, whereas this season everyone is just like, yeah, okay, I'll tell you exactly what we're going to do.
There's zero.
No one is hiding anything, which is interesting, but also it means we don't get as many, really juicy blindsides.
It's like they've got them all on truth serum or something. Like the second anyone asks someone a question, they just like blurt everything out.
Yeah.
Someone's been putting veritaserum in the rice and beans, it feels like, on that tribe. Going back to the reward challenge itself. So we had a memory challenge. I just feel like these are so tough.
Oh, jeez. And if you get it wrong, you have to
swim all the way back out.
That's nightmare fuel. Yeah. Imagine having to swim back out to that bloody pontoon.
Yeah.
They was sending Ursula back out at one point because she'd got it wrong.
Were you only allowed to get it wrong once and you had to go back out?
Yeah.
Just keep trying until you got it right. That's harsh.
It was harsh. And also, when you go back out, you don't then get to do the fun, like, jump in with the boy and get pulled.
You got to swim back again.
Yeah, what? Because they've obviously in between contestants, they've been shipping the buoy back out to its place on the pontoon. That looked really fun, that part. You know, when you get
pulled in by the rope.
Well, yeah, but not swimming.
No.
And then doing it again a second time.
I'm trying to remember it as well.
Your brain would just be depleted.
Yeah, definitely.
And like all those funny symbols. You just,
Yeah.
I was looking at some of them, like, what even is that?
Yeah.
If this hadn't all been pre-recorded, obviously, like months ago, I would be saying they listened to our first episode where we said, oh, the puzzles are always so easy.
Yeah.
Especially as we get later into the week. But man, yeah, they're so difficult now.
Diabolical.
So tough.
This season, yeah.
They actually did very well. I think it was only Ursula and maybe one other person, I can't remember who now, that got it wrong. The rest all got it right.
Both the first two ones, like they just got it right first time. I made a note that this was actually very long for a reward challenge. Like I know they're long, but like what it showed us felt like I was watching it for a very long time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I felt the fatigue. Yeah. I felt like I was swimming.
Well, I also made a note that I quite like Jono had cue cards in this challenge.
What?
I think he always does when it's a memory-based challenge, especially when it's something he can't go and check himself.
Well, maybe he should be swimming out if you can't remember it, Jono. Maybe you should be going out to the pontoon.
Oh, yeah, so Jono is then very generous and gives them both flints.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't really feel like they needed. But
Yeah, because they all got fire back again, right?
yeah.
Sometimes
I feel like what happens is behind it, because we don't see an awful lot of camp life, really. Sometimes I feel like producers are like, oh, like we need to feed these people.
Yeah.
About the flints.
I was just thinking, actually, because tribal council, I think, actually takes like a few hours. There's so much chance that fire's going to go out in that time.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just demoralising and rubbish for everyone if they have to come back from tribal council every time and try and relight the fire.
Yeah.
Which we've never seen happen. So I think there's definitely some, shenanigans going on there.
The next thing I've got a note about really is Ursula telling everyone she's on the bottom and Noonan rolling her eyes.
Oh, yes, of course.
That shot was iconic. It's so entertaining to watch. Imagine being like the brains that have gone on to that tribe as well, because immediately...
Well, this is
there's
it.
a crack.
Why? Again, why would she have been telling them that?
They just love spilling the info.
We cut to Brain's beach and we see Max giving them a tour.
Yes.
And he's saying things like, that's my sleeping rock, stay off it. A sleeping rock? Have we seen the sleeping rock?
No, we haven't seen the sleeping rock.
Deprived.
Is this because they've got the pig pen?
The what?
He has to have a sleeping rock. Do you know how they keep calling their shelter the pig
Oh,
pen?
because the shelter's so bad.
So bad.
That he's got a sleeping rock.
Yeah, that's because he just can't sleep in the shelter.
No,
He has to sleep on a rock.
They did say that not many people could fit in it.
Yeah, and they're actively calling it the pig pen. I haven't called it that.
Yeah, I didn't say it. I mean, no, you would never insult their shelter.
I think the Brawns that have gone on to the Brain tribe are kind of devastated with what they've left behind and what they've been shown.
Well,
i.e. the pig pen.
yeah. I mean, it's never a good sign when someone's saying, oh, this is where I sleep, this rock.
Stay off it. You don't even get the rock. So I don't know what you've got written down next, but my next note is about the idol.
Yes, sweet, sweet Jezebel.
Sweet, sweet Jezebel.
Jezebel.
Jezebel. Jezebel should be like the fourth member of our podcast, I think. What an eye.
If only we would be so lucky.
Yeah. I've made a note that Max says he's going to use Jezebel to conquer all the Muppets around him.
I had the exact same note.
Obsessed.
He's like a pantomime villain.
Yes.
I absolutely love it.
In the best possible way.
Yeah, I also really loved the idol dance that he did.
Yes,
it was extended.
It was.
And we know that they're low on energy. He put everything into that
I
dance.
mean, you would, wouldn't you? You only get one idol dance.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you get more than one, but
Some people.
you only get one first idol dance.
Yeah. And he gave it his all. I loved this moment. I thought it was incredible. Sweet, sweet Jezebel. Something I just wanted to comment on in the kind of pre-challenge build-up. I noticed that when Noonan gives the idol back to Jono, she does not make the cheap joke of, we'll get this back in a minute.
Thank you, Noonan.
Yeah.
So old hat, isn't it?
So, and I feel like Jono's sick of it.
I can feel him doing a Noonan eye roll whenever anybody says it.
Yeah, we'll get this back. It's like,
Yeah.
Also, like, what do you think of when they make Jono walk over to them to get
You
it?
would never.
No, a meet halfway, perfectly acceptable.
Fine.
But if he's coming all the way over to you, you're in his bad books.
I know.
Who did that?
Someone definitely did, and I just was astounded by the disrespect. I made a note, speaking of Jono, that he was very bossy in this challenge, I thought. He's like, you know how he goes, finally.
Yeah.
He said that about the Brawns 5 times at least. He kept saying, finally, Brawn have done this. Finally done this. Then he's like, let's go, let's go. But there was like real passion in his voice about that.
You know what I made a note about Jono in this challenge? He delivered a safety warning.
Did he?
Yeah. You know when they,
What?
I mean, I was flabbergasted.
Of all the times, like not for like
Not on that
when
big-
you're running on a barrel.
So you know when they had that big kind of like, I don't know what it was. It was like a big cart and they had to shift it up and then drop it down the other side. That big, it was like an A-frame.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they had
okay,
a big-
yeah.
And he went, watch your fingers on that.
Yes.
Did he? I missed that. Wow.
I don't think we've ever seen a safety warning.
But no one got injured on this one, so maybe it's...
They heeded his warning.
Yeah, maybe the right Jono. You need to start giving some...
I know, but not on that like gigantic ball that girl fell off that year. Not on the thing that like nearly did George's head in, broke Jackie's collarbone.
Yeah, just them pushing this like wee chest thing on it.
Yeah, watch your fingers. So yeah, I very much enjoyed that.
Yeah. Safety first.
Yeah, actually, I did write that Jono was very enthusiastic.
Yeah. Like really, like he was really trying to drive them forward.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I
like
am.
it.
Motivation. I also made a note that I can't, well, unhelpfully, I didn't write down who said it or what tribe they're on, but someone said, we don't want that late night tonight. Let's go. Like, that's the reason they didn't want to go to tribal, because they didn't want a late night.
I mean, they surely can't be sleeping much as it is. So does the late night make that much difference?
I know. I find that so funny. It was like season 1 US where they're like, oh, we don't want to have to walk all the way to tribal council. It was like that vibe. Like, yeah, that big height. Oh, come on, lads. We've had a few late nights recently. We can't be staying up for tribal council tonight. Like, we need an early night in bed.
I mean, to be fair, I can totally relate.
Yeah.
I can't remember what was the kind of ending of this
poll.
challenge. Oh, the
You
big
have to remember that botched poll thing.
They're loving a poll this season.
So many polls. Cheap. You just got this big stack of wood somewhere and they're just wheeling them out.
Same poll used in the bars
poll.
challenge. Same poll used in this challenge. Yeah, just a big like tiles, wasn't it?
That was very bizarre, wasn't it?
It was really weird. And I was actually thinking like quite early on that no one's actually going to be able to do this. And I was like, how much did they test out these challenges? Because it took them ages to get the hang of it.
I wonder if there was like 3 hours worth of footage of them trying to get
Jono starting them off like halfway up. They just need to get
Jono has to do a demo for them.
I would love that. I know. Well, we see Rich start to get the hang of it, don't we? And I'm thinking, he's going to win this. He's on it. But then stonemason Ben also gets the hang of it. It seemed like Rich was really going to win it. And then all of a sudden, lost it.
Like they caught up.
Yeah, devastating. Well, devastating for new Brawn.
And then I noticed that when Brains won, they did this very patronising bow. And
I hated that.
I want to know whose idea that was.
And is that a thing that they do and we just don't see it most of the time because it's infuriating?
Yeah, I feel like they're usually just kind of celebrating amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Not rubbing it in.
Real bad sports person shit.
It was. Yeah.
I think the next thing of note is kind of the scramble, is it? Anything else?
Sorry, before we go on to the scramble, I have a question about the challenge. I don't know if you've noticed this, but why do they always bring so many shoes to the challenges?
I think, right.
Have you noticed this?
Yeah, I have. No. I think it's because they obviously don't know what the challenge is going to be. You're going to have different footwear. It's going to give you an advantage in different situations, right? So something's going to be good for balance. Something's going to be good for grip.
Water,
yeah.
Water running shoes.
Yeah, totally.
Right. Because I swear Rich was wearing a pair of shoes and then had 2 pairs slung around his neck.
I thought you were going to say he was wearing 3 pairs of shoes.
He was wearing like 1 pair on his hands, 1 pair on his feet.
2 pairs on his feet.
Yeah, just got me curious.
So we've got the scramble and like we mentioned earlier, Ursula and Noonan are just not getting along at all, basically sabotaging any attempt at a former Brawn's alliance. Ursula's saying that Noonan is talking to her like she's a dog. Polly's trying to rein them in, God love him. He's telling them like, spare the antics.
Yeah, I made a note that Paulie was working his ass off in this scramble. He was trying to mediate those two. He was running between the different alliances over on the original Brains. He was working that room and trying very hard.
He was working so hard, and also he had a late night coming up.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts about the Ursula Noonan vote? Because when I was watching it, I was thinking it would have been pretty great, actually, because like they were saying, they wouldn't have expected it, the original Brain. So I thought it would have made for quite a good move if they had banded together.
Yeah.
But obviously the disdain was too much. They couldn't face it. But what did you guys think?
About the team up?
Yeah, did you think they should have done that?
I think they should. Well, I don't think it made a difference in the end, but I think they should have done that. But I also just think it was funny that Ursula just voted Noonan.
Yeah,
okay, and I just like her name wasn't even.
Yeah, she wasn't on the cards at all. It's just like, you know what, I'm going to make a point.
Yeah, like torching her own game, really, because how are they going to work together? But just absolutely loved it.
Yes.
Another thing I also really loved was when Rich and AJ then are talking about blindsiding Logan.
Yes.
And Rich says, I mean, I find that really irrational right now, but if you're down, I'll do it.
Yeah. I really liked how like AJ went to him with that vote idea. And then he said something like, because I think, as in going to explain why he wanted to do that vote. And straight away, Rich was like, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I think
He was in.
He didn't need the explanation. He was already down to clown.
Yeah,
Instantly.
he was so down to clown. I really enjoy this conversation between Rich and AJ because AJ is saying that he essentially wants to be a double agent.
Yeah.
He wants the Logan vote to go down, but he doesn't want to be involved in that vote. He doesn't want to write her name down because he seems to hurt both sides. Rich makes a great comment that he doesn't need AJ to write down Logan's name, but he wants it because it's like he wants to go to the party, but he doesn't want to blow up any of the balloons.
Yeah, I like that quote.
Yeah.
I think that was quite astute of Rich as well because, you know, he's obviously clocked on that AJ is thinking you'll play both sides.
Yeah.
He wants that guarantee that he is in because it's like he keeps saying either you're in or you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really love that. I also, because there's another sort of element to this scramble.
This is the one where Logan tells Ursula that Noonan was rolling her eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, standard this season of Survivor, like, does Ursula stew about it in quiet and quietly plot revenge? No, go straight to Noonan and is like, why are you rolling your eyes at me?
I love it. They just can't hold it in.
Oh my God, then Ursula just decides to tell Noonan, well, I'm either voting you or Logan. I've not decided. I'll decide at tribal.
I mean, if anything's going to seal her fate in the next episode, it may well have been that. So yeah, it was a hectic scramble. And this is when we get the Rich comment about getting ready for a date night with JLP, wasn't it? I think in the end, it is AJ that decides, okay, we can flip the vote to Rich.
Yeah, so AJ comes to Rich with this plan. Then he goes back to everyone else and tells them that Rich has come up with this plan to get rid of Logan and then kind of like gathers everyone together then to vote Rich.
A real last minute scramble.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a comment that Jono notes in Tribal that he's sensing a fracture in the OG Brawns.
Sensing it. I mean, don't know. Do you think he does get to like see the edit?
I reckon he gets to see, like footage.
Or do you think he gets just succinct bullet points
Definitely before tribal, he'll get bullet points, and then he'll
on his
get
cue cards?
Yeah, he'll get like questions in his ear, like ask him about this. Ask
Do you think?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that could be the dream job of all time? Just being that person in the editing room, feeding into JLP's ear, like, ask this. Ask Noonan if she's enjoying still being with Ursula.
I actually think it'd be a horrible job because you have to watch every dull bit of footage from the day.
Yeah.
Everything.
But then you could be like, ask Miles if he knows what war Max is talking about.
Yeah, it would be
You're just
worth
there
it for
staring
that.
the part. That's your entire job. Yeah.
Jono must throw in a couple of his own lines, though, surely.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. He does a lot of work, but like,
Yeah, because he kind of goes with where the conversation goes, doesn't he? He kind of riffs off what they're saying.
And I think he picks up on a lot of energy from like the challenges and stuff. He can sense.
Like when he comes out like, oh, Rich, I noticed you pumping your hand there when you saw that Ali was gone.
that's it. He definitely comes up with a lot of it himself, but there's just some things he can't possibly know at that point.
Yeah,
So he
without
gets
watching.
fed questions that,
Unless
you know,
he's in his fancy hotel watching a live feed.
with like 12 screens in front of him with popcorn.
Well, that's it. Is JLP dedicated enough to be watching it live?
I think he would be. Maybe he's a cameraman.
Can you imagine JLP chasing you down the beach as you're getting
Well,
an
I
idol?
feel like they're going to need more because sometimes there's stuff they don't get on camera.
I remember
Running after you, this camera, like, I'm going to be bringing this up at training.
Taking notes at the same time. Back to the tribal. So, I mean, I think Rich really seals his own fate at this tribal because the way that he's talking makes it sound like he thinks he's in control of that vote, which just makes it very clear he's going to be voted out. There was no kind of doubt in my mind at this stage. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, the second someone says they're in control in the edit, you know they're not in control anymore.
No, they're very likely to go.
Yeah. I was quite sad to see the end of Rich. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was quite an entertaining character to have on screen.
Oh my
enjoyed
God,
it.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, what, do you think Will and I were pleased to see him go? Jesus Christ, we were not.
Last of us in his perplexed dimension, you know, not going to see that again. Obviously, the tribes didn't share our opinion though, but we'll get to that, I'm sure.
No, shame.
I mean, to be fair, I think there's a big difference between who you enjoy watching as a viewer at home and who you would actually want to have to try and work with.
Yeah, 100%, because he was a little on the unpredictable side. So maybe not making the best alliance.
Just a little.
Are you surprised? Like, Rich and Max on the same tribe for a while and we didn't see more chaos between them during all that time.
Maybe like they were both such chaotic energies that when they came together, it kind of like dulled their power slightly.
Yeah.
So we move on to episode 2 then. First thing I noticed, we have a confessional from Ben. The first confessional we had from him.
I thought it was Jessie. I wrote down Jessie's struggling with the shelter.
I can't blame you because neither of them have really had confessionals. So we've not really seen that much from them.
It just might have been nice if they'd ended up split up and we could have seen a bit of them separately. They move as one right now for me.
Yeah, they do. You're right. Well, Ben is absolutely furious about the shelter.
Yes.
And we've commented on it already. It's a pig pen. So, yeah, quite rightly.
Yeah, we've got them like trying to move the shelter, setting up a completely new one. And then they've got Miles kind of chattering away to them while they're doing it, just telling them about like basically everything. It's like, honestly, they're sat in on a Jono recap. Yeah. What is going on?
He's gone full alley. He just will not stop talking to them, spilling all the secrets.
Yeah, Zara's trying to tell him to chill, but there's not really any telling him. And we find out later, I think it was in the 3rd episode, that he just loves Survivor so much. And he just loves talking to people about it. And he just loves the strat chat. And I feel like, oh my God, I could see that. I could be like that. You just want to...
I totally get that.
What did you I mean, he should be doing a podcast because then he could discuss it to his heart's content.
Yeah.
The place isn't really to be discussing it with Jessie and what's the other one?
Ben,
asking their opinion on it.
Not getting anything back from them. Well, if Miles is listening and wants to come on as a guest, discuss strat until your heart's content.
But then I also think, like, they maybe just didn't show this in the edit, but if I was Jessie and Ben, I would be, like, really grateful for this.
Yes.
Like, it wouldn't be an annoyance. It'd be like, yes, keep going.
Yeah, why would you not, like, recognise that he's obviously quite strategic player, could help you go far in some ways.
Or at least tell you everything that's ever happened on that trip. We're on the Brawn beach then. It gets brought up again. AG's talking about Ursula flipping last tribal when Noonan's name wasn't even up. Noonan's telling us that Ursula looks at her like she's dirt in her shoes. And then she's saying, I can roll my eyes at whoever I want. I did eye roll and I'll do it again.
She's like, I'm an adult.
I can roll my eyes at anyone.
I do like how she's saying that in the confessional where Ursula can't hear her.
I feel like she would have said it to Ursula though.
Do you think?
Yeah, they have quite like an open feud, don't they? We do get that shot. I don't know if it's now where like they're sat on that log together and Noonan tries to say something to Ursula and Ursula just walks off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's maybe a bit more trying from Noonan's side, but still.
Trying from Noonan's side. Well, see how that pans out in later episodes.
So we don't have a reward challenge this episode.
No.
Must have been too much to cram in, or they're just trying to really like deprive them to get some more drama. I don't know. But the reward challenge, the immunity challenge, we've got some pegs. We've got the board where they kind of are just like, it was almost like carnival-esque colouring. And then the other tribe members have to throw sandbags at coconuts.
A real twist on like an old fave.
Yeah.
If I don't particularly like her, but it's a producer fave, I think.
Yeah, it's no coconut hold, that's for sure.
I don't like the standing on the poles thing, but I did enjoy the aspect they added with the coconuts.
Yeah,
it has a new dimension.
It makes it up to the player, because previously it's just been Jono calling out numbers, right?
Where does he? Is it like a bingo thing?
Out of like a tombola.
Does he pick them out? Is it the rocks? The rocks.
Yeah.
Letting get used at tribal. He's using them with the numbers.
Because I did enjoy that it left it up to the players though.
Yeah.
So they could almost try, if they wanted to be strategic about it, look at which numbers people were going to struggle with and then try and go for those. Not that anyone had particularly good aim.
Well, that was kind of the downfall. No one could.
Yeah. I mean, they did get some good ones. Well, we see like a few pegs go, don't we? We see lots of people drop, and then we're just left with this epic showdown of Paulie.
Our saviour.
Paulie.
Savior.
Oh, it was iconic. I loved it. Did you?
Yeah, the crucifix is The editing, I mean, we say this every week, but the editing is just so on point.
It is so on point.
It was amazing. And the way that it had just like the Brawn written above him, he was like slap bang in the middle. He has solidified himself as a challenge beast in that challenge, I would say. Even though they didn't end up winning, that was
but I mean, just based on that, we're going to see more of Paulie later, right? I mean, he's got to make it to merge.
100%.
And also, when he does, he's touch word, yeah. When he does, he's going to be that challenge beast, like you said.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm obsessed with it. He's one of my absolute favourites. He's just got it all, you know, the challenge performance and then the strategy.
Yeah, the social game.
He's just hilarious with it as well.
Yeah.
I'm still not over it. Oh, you think you've got the best social game?
Yeah.
What was it he said? I love
your confidence or your belief. I love your self-belief.
Yeah, I think he's playing it really, really well. And that challenge was extremely impressive.
But then actually, this is funny because like my next notes say that when the Brawn tribe lose, AJ is saying he loves Noonan, but he thinks Paulie is a snake oil salesman.
Oh, yeah.
I heard this from a few people throughout the scramble. I mean, we've not really been shown anything other than people liking Paulie and getting on with him. But then it's suddenly this kind of rhetoric that he's like the big strategy master and he's tricking people.
Yeah, that was very confusing to me. I didn't see that coming at all. I don't, like you said, we maybe haven't seen something that the other players are seeing, but from...
Maybe AJ just knows he's a threat and wants him out for that.
You know
reason.
what? Actually, we do see in that scramble... So Ursula says she wants to vote Brawn strong and get out Karen. And Noonan then tells the other members of the tribe that.
Yeah.
Then they try to flog to AJ that was Ursula's idea.
Yeah.
And AJ says, I'm pretty sure that Paulie came up with that idea. So I think maybe he's just reading as very intelligent.
Well, he did come up with the idea because we saw him trying to unite them. They did go to her. But then, so when Noonan tells them that Ursula's come up with this plan, did Paulie know Noonan was going to do that?
No, I don't think so. Well, it didn't show that he did.
God love him. He's like, it's like he's herding cats.
Yeah.
Like trying to just get these people to agree to something. And just no one will do. Like he finally gets a pair of them to agree that they'll vote together. And then next thing, Noonan's running off telling the other side that Ursula's concocted this plan. He must just be like, give me strength, Baz. Do what you want, vote who you want. There's no point. I think this scramble is also the first time that we hear about AJ's absolute master plan of the hostages.
Oh my goodness.
There's so much to talk about with this hostage plan. I don't really know where to start with it.
Yeah.
So, right, let's break it down. So when we're still in the scramble, we hear about AJ's hostage plan, but does he...
He's telling Karen about it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how he kind of talks her round to voting for
Ursula. Yeah. So it sounds like an okay idea at this point.
Yeah,
because when he's just told one person.
You've got the former brains and they're kind of deliberating between whether they're going to go with Ursula or whether they'll go with Paulie/Noonan.
Yeah.
And AJ's keen for Ursula because he doesn't think she has as much value as a hostage, right? That's it though.
I think that is, yeah. I think you're right.
Because he knows the ones on the other tribe like Paulie and Noonan will want to keep them. So that's why he wants them as his like high value hostages.
Yeah, you're right. It's so interesting because they are a 4-4 split at this point. So he's got a lot of confidence in that he can be the master of that and control it.
Imagine they had just been like, you know what, let's just take it to rocks.
Yeah. I really like the scene that we get with AJ kind of after he's talked about the hostage plan. He's speaking to Paulie and Noonan and he's saying to them, do you have an idol? And he says that he has a sense that one of them does. They don't need to say anything. But if you do have an idol, I will tell you at tribal council whether or not something's changed and you need to play it.
And This is the first time probably in this whole series where someone hasn't just outright told someone all the info. Like, say it'd been like, I don't know, Nash or Miles. Oh, yeah, I've got an idol.
Yeah. Because at this point, Noonan still doesn't actually know that we know of that Paulie has an idol. So
imagine he just said to AJ, I've got an idol. He hasn't even told his number one. Ali. Although I do wonder if he's maybe told her and we've not seen it.
Yeah, potentially, because
she's very stuck by him. She's stuck by him a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're allies, but a lot.
A real duo.
Yeah.
She stuck by him a lot. Well, because she blew up his wee plan.
Oh.
Yeah, true.
Well.
I don't think she told. I'm annoyed we didn't really get a Polly reaction to that. Like, what did he say when he found out? Because, oh my God, they called him over, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like, AJ and co called him over and they were like, oh, someone's saying Ursula's got this plan to vote someone out. Whose name was it? And they're like outright asking Polly.
Yeah.
And we didn't really ever get a reaction from him. Like, why has Noonan done this?
I think at this point he's just kind of realised, okay, I give up on trying to get Noonan and Ursula to work together. It's not going to happen. But just going back to the idol chat with AJ, this was such a clever move because if you're a poker player and you've got that really good read on people, there's probably a tell that's happened there that's given that away.
He said himself in his like intro video that he's the kind of poker player that talks a lot.
Yes.
To get a read on what he says, based on other people's reactions. So that's obviously he's applying that strategy there. He's like, I'm going to throw this out there just to see their reaction, just to see Paulie's reaction.
Yeah.
And, I think Paulie absolutely gave it away at Tribal Council.
Yeah.
When he was looking at her.
Yeah, when he looked at him expectantly and AJ's just sat there going, right, well, I know you've got an idol then.
That was smart of AJ.
Very clever, yeah. We'll see how that plays out in later episodes.
Speaking of tribal.
1 second, sorry.
Before we go,
Nice segue for us.
Someone's had some caffeine tonight. We're going to be talking about the scramble for hours. You're laughing, Will, but you've got to edit this.
I know, right?
This is scramble adjacent. It's not really related to anything.
Oh, a tangent, nonetheless.
But it's a tangent on behalf of the producers because it was very weird that they included this weird scene with the maggot in the rice.
Yeah,
that was the name of the episode as well.
I was really confused by that because I thought, that must become as part of like an important conversation later on or
like
something.
The maggot's an idol or something.
Well, just that there'd be something relating to it because otherwise there's no reason to keep that scene in.
I know.
It contributed nothing. If anything, all I saw was the fact that Ursula went over really like interested and then I was like, oh, looks like her and Noonan aren't hating each other as much now.
Oh, yeah, they're bonding over the maggot.
But it wasn't even a bonding. It was just that Ursula wasn't avoiding her. If anything, it sort of betrayed the narrative they'd been editing so far. It was just such a bonkers scene, I think.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Why? Maybe they just thought that's a good name for an episode.
So we better put it in.
Yeah.
I could have done better than that.
What was the episode called?
Maggot in the rice.
Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's meant to be like a metaphor. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Now, speaking of
tribal, which we weren't now because we had wee tangents, we go to tribal. And AJ then lays out his hostage plan. He tells JLP and the whole tribe about the hostage plan.
All of who are gobsmacked. They're just like, well, it's your plan. We're not involved. Even his allies are just like, well, it's nothing to do with us. Don't look at us.
I'm pretty sure Kaylin's like, this is not.
Yeah, Kaylin,
this is AJ's plan, yeah.
But how furious would you be as a hostage in this scenario?
I'm the hostage.
Yeah.
I almost feel like his allies were more furious than the hostages.
Yeah.
Which ones? The ones on his current tribe or the ones on the other tribe that are
Both,
sacrificial lambs?
They're accomplices.
Yeah, if anything, he's just annoyed his allies more than anyone because the people, who they know that they're on the chopping block already. So like, oh yeah, but
Yeah. I would have really thought that this kind of chat would have bonded together Ursula and Noonan to be like, we need to team up, but apparently nothing will do it.
Because then we've got Noonan at Tribal saying Ursula treats me like the dirt under her shoe. She's telling JLP about the shoe and the dirt.
JLP was horrified
he
at
was
that chat.
shocked.
He was like, what?
On my Survivor?
Yeah. I had another note. I wondered if Ursula had spelt Noonan's name wrong on the
Yeah, with the
did,
U.
judgment on
Yeah.
On
did she do it
purpose.
you think?
Oh,
Because I swear, like the first time round, she did Noonan spelled correctly, and then the second time she did. I'll have to fact check that. I'm not sure.
I wonder if Noonan at some point has said, I'm just impressed people have spelt my name right.
Yeah,
And
she's
Ursula's
like, my final dig. I will spell your name wrong.
Yeah.
I just had a note as well. Like Polly just looked so dapper. Like I just like
The trousers.
Yeah, the trousers.
Yeah, they're
Oh my
fabulous.
god! And I feel like in another tribal, he was sat there in a shirt that looked like that shirt he was wearing looked more ironed than stuff that I iron and wear. He looked great.
I know. How is he that put together?
So put together. I don't know how he does
He
that.
must
Like,
have chosen
Just an
wrinkle-free garments.
yeah, that's very smart.
What did you say?
I said he's just an icon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, love him. I had a wee question for you.
Go on.
Okay, what's your favourite Jono vote signal?
Oh.
So you're sat there and
Oh,
you like,
yeah.
you know, like he does the eyebrow raise.
Yeah.
He does the like. He sometimes just goes, "You're up."
Yeah.
Sometimes he does the wee point. He
Sometimes you
sometimes
get a
a wink.
wink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the wink for me.
See, I want the kind of like nod at you and then the nod at the voting booth.
Oh, yeah. The double
yeah.
whammy.
Yeah.
It's an arms folded wink,
Wink.
for me, I think. Although, now that you've said about the eyebrow raise
like-
to you and eyebrow raise to the...
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that is the eyebrow raise to you and the eyebrow raise to the urn. The double eyebrows.
God.
Sometimes it's like you just get the eyebrow raise, and
Yeah.
then
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
you get a doubler. The eyebrow raise to you and the eyebrow raise to the urn.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. We can only dream.
We'll have to kind of try and take notes of any other ones because I'm sure we've missed them. Like some, do you know.
So we say bye to Ursula.
Final note that Noonan was referring to her as a sea witch at one point.
Oh,
I
yes.
didn't get it. At first I was like, sea witch?
How?
Who? And then So episode 3, we get this incredible Jono recap where he just puts so much like inflection into his voice. He says, Miles talked his way to the bottom of the Brains tribe again. It was the again, wasn't it? We rounded it like 3 times.
Oh, it was so good. I just really
Again.
get the sense, I think we've talked about this before, but we feel like Jono loves an underdog.
Yeah.
So he's just absolutely like incredulous that Miles is blowing his opportunity.
Again.
Yeah. Again.
Again, we also get him saying Mad Max. Mad Max.
I think he loves a chaos merchant, doesn't he?
He just knows it's getting him those sweet, sweet racings.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got another, whatever the Australian Television Award is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His minions going out there doing his work, getting him these awards with their sweet, sweet deceit.
I mean, I think Jono needs to win a BAFTA for that scroll. Scroll chat.
I confirm this is the scroll. Get the man an award.
So after we've got Jono's recap, we open to this another just incredible editing scene of Max and his meditation moment.
Oh, yeah.
Interspersed with Miles going around
Chatting.
chatting.
Yeah, and we
a great
can
moment.
And like the editing, the way it's done, like you can hear Miles in the back.
Yeah. Just slightly dim in the background.
With that scene where we have AJ in the ocean with Kristen.
Yes.
This is really the first that we're seeing of Kristen as well. Like the original Brawn's tribe have just been very underrepresented in the confessionals because there's been so much mayhem going on the other tribe. But she's kind of giving him the chat of like, yes, I'm going to play along with your little game, but really she's on to him. And we also see her discussing that with Logan. So I think there's a potential for an AJ takedown.
Or astounded if it
In
doesn't
the
happen.
future.
Yeah.
I will be astounded if he's not gone the next time they're at tribal. Although he's got the idol, but
He's got the idol, but
if not for that idol,
he's really going along the path of I'm so confident and I'm so in control of this game that there's a very good chance that he could get blindsided and not play his idol, as we've seen people do in the past.
yeah.
We move on to the immunity challenge. No reward again. They're on the mats. And here we go.
Here we go.
This was
It's
awesome.
time for our absolute payoff.
100%.
I mean, the whole thing's been a payoff, but
Every second of it. I mean, what It's pure genius. Pure genius.
On whose part?
Like AJ?
No, so I'm skipping ahead slightly just to the challenge, but
yes.
the whole setup of
right.
everything
I was
genius.
I was questioning your...
But yeah, AJ then revealing his whole hostage plan to everyone was just
This was
incredible.
It was
Wow.
prompted as well, I feel.
Well, no, we got Jono saying, AJ, do you want to give us a bit of context?
Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah.
And then he gave them all the context they could ever need. It was the reaction of Zara and
Yeah. I think, how
Laura.
would you feel if you were in his original... Well, were they in his original alliance?
Who's in his alliance? What was his alliance?
His last known alliance was the Graduates, I'm pretty sure.
Right, so you've got Miles on the other side
Miles.
and Zara who are in that alliance.
Yeah. And he's just completely thrown them under the bus.
There was no one happy with what he was saying.
I know.
Not a single person.
Jono.
Yeah, Jono was loving it. Everybody else was just like, nope, nothing to do with us. Although apparently the other tribe were like, yeah, okay, good deal.
Well, I was going to bring this up. I really loved the edit where we didn't we didn't see them discussing it, that they were going to throw it. And then kind of the first indication is when they're like really struggling to
But, I'm genuinely struggling with this, guys. Like, really?
And then we got the reveal. Was it Morgan asked them or someone asked them, are you throwing it? And they're like, yeah.
And we also get a comment from Jono where he's
yes.
like, they are really struggling with this canoe or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But after AJ's revelation, are they struggling?
Are
And
they
I think,
struggling?
well, we were all in accordance before they admitted it that I think this is a throw.
Absolutely. I
The
mean,
muscles on them.
Well, yeah, because you saw the, who was
We
it?
saw the new Brawn try pick up the canoe.
Yeah,
and
with
basically run
ease.
down the beach.
run off with
Yeah.
At first I thought, they've just got unlucky and it's got stuck in the sand.
yeah.
I thought I got stuck in the sand.
Yeah, I was like, that feels a bit dodge, but then I just realised that they're actually just throwing it.
Sabotage by the producers. No. The puzzle.
Oh,
The puzzle.
I mean, this is the bit I was talking about before. This is the iconic bit.
Yes.
I just love
Wild.
this so much.
So much.
Genius. I mean,
So
whoever
fun.
thought of that needs to get a massive raise.
Yeah.
And two, I don't know if they planned it this way, but the fact that
fact
it
they were
happened on the
throwing it.
same challenges
Yeah.
that they were throwing it, I mean,
Yeah, so there's
you
just
just don't get better than that.
so many people don't care about completing the challenge.
Yeah, everyone's just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, all the original Brawn, they're basically throwing their puzzle pieces aside.
Yeah, I
Running
love
back into the...
That's it. They hadn't even solved it. They were just like, hey, look.
Yeah.
One of the sandbags has an idol. And
My absolute favourite bit was just Max shouting down the beach after. There is no idol. Get back here. There's no idol.
So I was like, well, it says it on the thing.
It says it on the puzzle.
I really like how so he's hollering that down the beach.
There is no idol.
Then after that, him and Miles have to team up
Yeah.
as nemesis to complete the puzzle because they're the only ones left.
Yes.
They're just like, I'm gonna have to go on your shoulders, Max, to complete this puzzle. So
There's no idol. I can't get back.
And then Miles saunters off down to the shore to try and get people to come back and do the challenge.
God.
And what does he spot in the water? The idol that they've all been digging around in sandbags for the last 10 minutes trying to find. Oh, it was just so good.
Oh my God. I was obsessed.
I feel like this is one of my favorite challenges of all time.
Same.
Absolutely. Honestly, incredible.
It just created so much mayhem.
Yeah, and then you've got people shouting things like AJ's being an absolute menace.
Yeah, they're like hollering at each other across the
everyone's
sandbag.
shouting. And then that finishing bit with Karen trying to get the ball, and it looked like after all that the bloody brains might have won it.
For a second, I thought she was trying to throw it.
Was she? We thought maybe she's throwing it to get rid of this liability AJ and this hostage plan. And
It was
Wow.
chaos
It was
in the best
so
way.
good.
oh my God. And Kristen finding the idol, very good opportunity potentially for the OG Bronze to come together and work together. But then Noonan just tells everyone Kristen's got an idol. And then Kristen tells JLP that Noonan threw her under the bus.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, fair, when she was trying to put it in her short, there was no hiding that.
Right?
No.
Instantly, you can all be stood there on the mats at the end and it's like, what's that bulge?
Why do they not bring idol appropriate clothing?
I know, right? I guess
box.
you're not expecting it at a
I
challenge.
wouldn't expect it then.
Well, it's
doesn't-
been seen in the past.
It has.
True, it
Usually on
has.
the first challenge, I think.
And also that one with Haley
Yeah.
and George.
Yeah, true.
But
True.
it's not the norm.
It's not the norm. So I don't.
But I think there's lots of things pockets that are handy for. Like if you've got that mud challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a hat.
Yeah.
Well,
a hat. Yeah.
A hat.
Oh, a hat would have
You
been
could
so
pop it under your hat.
You can be like,
Yeah.
Jono, can I borrow your cap?
Imagine if he said yes.
Yeah. Imagine.
They can't have the table. They're certainly not having his hat.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no. Even though he's got like 2 new ones every episode.
He opens up his wardrobe. It's just a line of those.
I don't know if you've seen Clueless, but like at the beginning when she's matching her clothes on that computer, I just picture John on his computer going through and picking the hat that matches the outfit.
Hat, t-shirt, shorts. Will I wear the boots or the trainers?
That's challenge Jono sorted. Then you've got your tribal Jono, your shirts and your watch and your
Tribal
Jono. It's like he's an action figure, you know. You can buy challenge Jono with the cap, or you can buy tribal Jono.
I need to make that so badly.
So badly.
You press a button on his back and he has little phrases. He says,
He doesn't
all right,
think of
head
what-
back to camp.
Brawn have connected. They're nowhere in this challenge.
We're on to something there, guys.
Jono action figures. If that isn't how you can also get Dr. Jono.
Oh, yeah.
Finale Jono. Final tribal Jono. Does he wear formal wear for the final tribal?
No, it's just tribal Jono.
Oh, I didn't know.
He's
But
definitely got a glow about him. We never see him in a suit. I'm pretty sure of that.
not even when he like zooms in on a video link.
No, he's not. Because normally when he's coming through on the thing, he's like coming in a Jeep or a boat, isn't he? So he's just like,
yeah.
Jeep Jono. Oh my God. Like Barbie, and you have her car. It's like Jono's Jeep.
why is he not parachuted into one yet?
Jono's Jeep and his...
How you get like special editions like Outback Jono?
Yeah, with the
Boots
cork
and a
hat.
cork hat.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, I'd buy the whole set.
Oh God damn, yeah. You could have him with a big sack of coconut
Oh, don't even.
accessories.
Oh yeah,
bowl.
reward, Jono.
With the table. Tribe swap Jono with his auction Jono. His gavel.
I was going to say what's
Auction Jono. It's like, you know, when you're younger and you like had a pretend shop,
Oh yeah.
except you've got auction Jono with toothpaste.
A scroll.
This is the
Oh,
scroll.
the scroll. That's an accessory, yeah.
Yes, the scroll. You'd need a scroll.
Oh, he would need an urn as well.
Oh, you'd need an urn filled with ash.
And the snuffer.
The snuffer.
It's never.
You
And you
get
know,
new accessories every season.
oh my, it's like, you know, Harry Potter, and you can get all the wands. So we'd be like, here's Jono's heroes versus villains snuffer.
Collect his items.
All-star snuffer.
I feel like the audience for these action figures is about 10 people worldwide.
No, surely
No.
not. We can't be the only ones.
Oh, it'd be like when Buzz Lightyear went out of stock. Get snapped up. I said, if we start working on them now, we might have them ready for Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Handcrafting these Jono dolls.
At these like Australian Survivor events where they're handing out that season's buffs, it'll be like that season's buffs, that season's Jono.
Yeah.
Tribal and challenge. And limited edition.
Yeah. Visit our action figure stand for all the features.
It
Then.
also could be like motivation, Jono. So when you press him, he says something motivational,
yeah.
like, pick it up, go, go, go.
Yeah.
You've got this. you're good to go.
Yeah.
You can record your name into it, so it'll be
Yes.
it'll be like, and Will is really smashing it in this challenge.
I think we need to introduce a new segment to the podcast where we just...
Jono's accessories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Favorite John Wick.
This podcast just turns into like our business plan for how we're going to make these Jono merchandise dolls sell.
Immunity idol Jono.
Yes. Pontoon Jono.
Pontoon. Oh, boat Jono. You know when he's got the
Oh, what about when he was doing the crank? Last season.
yeah.
And the wheel crank Jono.
torture wheel Jono.
Right. Restrain it in.
Where were we before we got into that?
Oh, God. I can't even recall.
Right, so we were discussing the best challenge of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, yeah, Kristen finds the idol. She can't hide it. She tells Jono she's been thrown under the bus. I think that's kind of where we got up to.
Yeah, so, AJ's plan did work. They did throw the challenge.
Yeah.
So we're on the Brains Beach and Laura is trying to talk to Max. She's trying to get together all like the 4 original brains and get them saying they'll work together. She's trying to get like an assurance from Max that he will vote with them. And Max says something like, it's going to be a party, that's for sure, which would not reassure me if I was Laura.
At that point, you're just like, great, so you're not following the plan then.
And then we get the threat from Zara where she says that if he flips, she'll kill him, which he takes quite to heart.
He does.
And Max took that personally.
We need to take a moment to talk about Max's confessionals in this segment because we're getting cut back to him quite a lot because the confessional is top tier entertainment.
It's non-stop. It's like we get a scene, then we get a Max confessional, then we get another scene, then we get Max confessional.
I mean, I think we both wrote that Max is wearing his buff like Scrooge.
Yeah, like we need
We've ever seen this before. This is on none of the how would you wear your buff memes. I've not seen this come up before, but
No, he's wearing like a wee nightcap.
yeah. And he's just so dynamic in these confessionals. Is quality entertainment. I think we've said before, pantomime villain.
Pantomime villain.
He is just serving entertainment. And
Yeah, and he's not even just keeping it to the confessionals even. He's like, like when he's with that ladle. And he's
Oh, yeah. He's ladling himself.
My favourite confessional he did was the one where he was talking about Jezebel again.
Jezebel.
Jezebel.
His island girlfriend.
Oh, yes.
Says, sweet Jezebel, my lady, my girlfriend on the island. I mean, we watched it together. We watched it maybe 3 times. It was perfection.
Sweet Jezebel.
Sweet Jezebel.
She's a lady.
I have so many questions about this. Like
About Sweet Jezebel.
Yeah, like where did the name come from? Because surely there has to be some backstory. Are they still together?
Well, they must be. Yeah, he took.
Well, yeah, we saw. He didn't use her.
I just,
He went home. He took her home.
Yeah, I don't know where the
Those
Jezebel
are
thing came
yeah, I just want to know everything about what Max was thinking with this idol.
Yeah, we didn't get the context. It wasn't like when Jono asked AJ for context about the hostages and he told him everything. We didn't get any context for Jezebel. That was a double loss.
Oh, God.
Yeah, losing Max and Jezebel in the same stroke.
I'm so heartbroken about it.
Well, Max thinks he's got quite a good thing going then with the original Brawn, doesn't he? He's telling them that they can all go to the promised land together. So then he's like, yeah, Miles is his nemesis. Zara said if he flips, she'll kill him. He's very keen to work with the Brawn.
I mean, to be fair, it's quite that gives quite good reason to want to flip. You're being threatened by your...
And then he tells Laura the plan, and one of his main reasons is Zara has a terrible bedside manner.
Oh, yeah.
Loved that
Loved
comment.
that.
She's his nurse or something.
Yeah, I mean,
So he says,
we know Jono's got a medical degree.
so we've got Max saying that Miles is his mortal enemy. He needs to get him out. Zara has a terrible bedside manner. He wants her out. Plus, she threatened to kill him.
Yeah.
So,
Both legit reasons for wanting to get them out, I would say.
what would you think is the reason that the original Brawn tribe are kind of going for this Max vote? Is it just because he's too much of a loose cannon?
I think. And then I think they weren't convinced by the 3-3-3 thing, were they? Because I don't know, did they have concerns about it going to a revote and then Max turning on them, or did they just think he's the loose cannon?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I love him, but he does give off loose cannon vibes. That's actually why we love him.
Yeah, I do think they would have gone with Miles if Miles hadn't had the idol.
Yeah, agree.
And I think they just thought, I don't know why they wanted Max gone.
This was a terrible vote for me because...
Well, I mean, I get it. Was, like, while we're watching it, though, you're saying, oh, I hope Miles uses his idol, which I wanted Miles to say too, but I was thinking, yeah, but if he uses it, then we'll lose our chaos gods.
You know what? I was just very misled by the editing in this, because my thinking was, if Miles plays his idol, then they've put... I stupidly thought that they had put 3 votes on Zara, so I thought that Zara would go home.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, I thought that they included that bit about putting it all on Max as like a last-ditch attempt to create some suspense in the edit. So I didn't actually see this happening. And Max didn't see it happening either, because he didn't play his idol. And we lost another... chaos god, like you said.
I was devastated. So we lost him, we lost Jezebel. And then also, I made a wee note, like, Kate. Have we seen Kate at all? Have we seen any confessionals from her?
We've seen
Not
maybe
much.
a few.
Yeah.
My thing with Kate is I love her challenge look.
That's Kate.
Yeah,
The one with
that-
the fab
the
denim.
denim.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even make the connect. Right, okay.
But we're not seeing a lot from her in this game, unfortunately.
But we've been told she's got a good social game.
Yeah.
That's why they want to get her out, but we've just not seen much of this.
Yeah, maybe we'll see more of that to come.
Yeah, we'll see our intro video.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like the kind of original Brains tribe has just been overflowing with so much chaos and mayhem that we haven't really had much of an opportunity to see any of the original Brawns. Like, we've seen a few, so there's a lot still to uncover, I think, with them. But yeah, a devastating loss. I think we're all in agreement.
Absolutely gutted. And I know we were just all watching, like, after the preview, just hoping it would be like a redemption rock kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, or a... Well, what's the other one?
XRB.
XRB.
Yeah,
Sure,
something to keep him in. I feel like, I mean, there are still obviously some really great characters in there, but from a personal perspective, I feel like we've lost Nash. We lost Kent. We've lost Max. All these big name...
Rich,
yeah.
I'm sure there's more that we were sad about.
All these mayhem makers.
Mayhem makers.
They're just falling by the wayside. It's very sad to see.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the move makers and the tribe shakers?
Yeah, I love that.
I didn't make it up. I'm sure I heard it. Probably on another podcast. Maybe we have to cut that.
Yeah. I think I just made a couple of other comments about that tribal. Jono makes a comment to Ben that they haven't been there since the Nash vote.
Yeah.
Which to me is just crazy, because, I mean,
What?
it feels like Nash has been gone for ages. Like, I mean, the loss is still palpable, but it feels like it's been a while.
Yes.
So that was pretty shocking to me.
Not many late nights for them.
Yeah, they're getting loads of beauty sleep.
In their lovely shelter.
Yeah. I think that explains probably a bit of why we've not seen too much of the Brawn's tribe, because obviously you get a lot more confessionals when there's a scramble going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another comment that I made was, is the idol on a gold chain? Because that was fabulous. I never noticed that before. Because you know how Miles was wearing the idol?
Yeah.
I swear it was on a gold chain.
I don't remember seeing a gold chain.
I didn't notice. I was just too busy. Like, I'm always just blinded by the colours. They really pop, you know, the colours on it.
Oh, yeah.
Diamantes, like a Swarovski kind of.
I almost feel like it's like
Bling.
gemstone-esque. Oh, God, it's lovely. I would love one of those.
It's my fave, I think.
We'll have to try and find out what Max has done with sweet, sweet Jezebel. Is she in a frame? Is she... Well, I don't know what else you would do. I would probably...
I guess you could
mine
get
in
like a
frame.
bust and hang it on the bust.
Oh, yeah. That would be fabulous, actually.
Maybe sleeps with it.
Sleep with it under your pillow.
Under his pillow.
We'll have to find out.
I actually think it's up there, you know, going like having an idol is up there with getting an Oscar, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Simon that went with 2?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet Jezebels.
Simon was all about the idol shenanigans. He had the fake, the idol clue, the cookie idol clue, and then the 2 idols he went home with. Do we want to do the who's gonna make
Yeah,
it
of course.
to merge?
Yes, we do.
Have we done Kaelin yet?
We have not.
We haven't.
And I think, which tribe's he?
He's now on.
Yes, I think he'll make it to merge because he's in a majority in the on the bronze tribe.
Yes.
But with the old brains.
He is.
I think he's got a good head on him.
I agree. And I think he's playing it pretty under the radar.
Yeah.
He's really like channeling what he said he was going to do, in that he's just like.
He's a coconut king.
Yeah.
There was another coconut moment, wasn't there, in the last few episodes?
Oh, he like broke a coconut while they were mid-conversation.
Oh, yeah, that was
It just startled everyone.
Our coconut king.
Do you think he's going to make it?
I think Kaelin's going to make it to merge, yeah. I think he could go quite far. But it's interesting he's not really had much in the edit yet. He's just kind of been there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Is he playing it under the radar or have we just not seen it? I think he is playing it quite under the radar. And I also think there's just not been time for
So much going on.
Yeah. I think he's waiting to make his move because we've seen a lot of big moves this season already. And unfortunately, most of them have ended with people going home. So yeah, hopefully more to see from Kaelin.
There was a really fun moment like at the start of episode 3 this week where Logan asks Kaelin if AJ is freaking him out and he says always. I like that.
I feel like we need to talk about AJ. Is AJ going to make it
No,
merge?
I would be astounded.
I would be
astounded.
amazed, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Who's his allies? He's got an idol.
True.
But like wise owl Miles said, an idol will keep you in for one more day, an ally will keep you in.
How far off merge are we? 'Cause
Oh,
I have heard a couple of whisperings of merge in the episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be week after next.
We have. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be very surprised if AJ can hold on that long.
yeah, so like 3 more tribals.
Yeah.
Then again, anything can happen. What seems to be quite a recurring theme of this series is you think someone's going to go home and then someone else ends up pissing them off more and then they vote for that person instead.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah, because no one can keep their mouths shut.
Yeah.
So they just end up throwing themselves under the bus.
Yeah. I really want AJ to stay in just because I think we need a mischief maker in there.
It'd be interesting to see him stay. I would love to see how he does post-merge.
Yeah, same. But
Fingers crossed.
so we're going, what are you going to say? Is he going to make it to merge?
No.
I was going to say no, but I think with the idol, it is a possibility because he seems like he's very good at reading people. So I think he might play it at the right time when that time comes.
I'm going to say yes as well, just because I'm seeing some similarities between AJ and George in that they've both done these big like declarations of war. And for George, it saw him nearly all the way to the end. So I'm going to stick my neck out and say yes. I think he will make it to merge.
Plus, you're forgetting he's got this hostage thing going on.
Oh, of course.
They actually might not go back to the tribal council for
Well,
the next 3.
based on the preview of the next episode, it's going to be a competition to see who can force their own tribe to go to tribal.
Why would AJ have been throwing it?
Because it's an iconic thing and he just wants to do it because he's got so much power and he controls the vote as far as he's concerned.
And he knows he's got that idol.
And he knows he's got the idol.
Okay, I've got one more name for you. Do you think that Logan is going to make it to merge?
That's who I was going to ask if you couldn't think of anyone else.
Yes.
I think she will because she's just not really involved at the moment. So I think she's going to slide on through.
I think she's involved in a good way.
Yeah, I just think we're not seeing a lot of her, which means she's not involved in a lot of the chats, like crucially, which means she's probably not under threat at the moment.
Yeah, I think she's in a good position. She's kind of dodged the immediate threat from AJ. She's now working this social game, which we know is the reason he wanted her out, because that's a very big, a very like strong skill of hers.
God, I forgot about that, the her and AJ thing.
Yeah, I had as well, actually.
Wow, so much has happened.
Do you think she's going to make it to merge?
I do, because she's in like a majority alliance. So unless I think AJ does something mad,
Well, I mean,
which wouldn't massively be surprised.
yeah, not unlikely.
I could see her being collateral damage if an idol got played, but I think she will make it to merge.
I agree. We're all agreed on that one.
We're all agreed.
Good on you, Logan.
Another outstanding week of Australian Survivor. Even though we are going into mourning for the rest of the week, it's been worth it.
Max and Jezebel, we will always hold you in our hearts. Thanks for listening to the Make It to Merge podcast. If you enjoyed this, please rate and subscribe and tell your friends. If you'd like to follow us on social, where, if I do say so myself, we have some banging Australian Survivor content, you can find us on Instagram, Make It to Merge, or you can email us, makeittomerge@gmail.com.